I found this old piece of wood out in the garden. It's been sitting there for years, weathered, cracked and full of dirt, but it's still solider than me. I didn't really plan on starting a project today, but when I picked it up I figured I'd see if I could turn it into something useful. Sometimes that's how these projects start. You just stumble on a piece of wood and an idea just builds itself. It was completely caked in mud and a bit of moss, so the first step was cleaning it up. I just grabbed a stiff brush and went at it right there in the driveway. Once I got most of the dirt off, the surface was still pretty rough, so I ran it through my DIY planer jig. The thing is not fancy, but it saved me a lot of time. After a few passes you can start to see the green coming back to life, which is always satisfying. It's like uncovering what the wood used to be. Once it looked clean enough to work with, I started thinking about what to make. I've needed a proper headphone stand for a while, something that fits on my desk, looks clean and doesn't feel cheap. So I pulled out my sketchbook and roughed out a few quick ideas. Nothing complicated, just basic proportions and some simple joinery. I settled on a design with one upright piece that slots into a base. Super simple, but it does the job. Then it was time to start cutting. I measured everything out and grabbed a circular saw. Since I only had this one board, I had to make it stretch. The thickness wasn't quite enough for what I wanted, so I decided to cut it in half and glue the two pieces together. That way I'd end up with a thicker block to work from. I spread the glue evenly and clamped it up, and left it to dry for a few hours. The nice thing about working outside is the sun actually helps speed things up a bit. Once the glue set, I unclamped it and did a quick sand to remove all the squeeze out and level it off. The board already looked way better. It's funny how a bit of time with the sander can completely change the look of a piece. You'd never know it was covered in mud a few hours ago. Next, I marked out the sections for the base and the upright. I'm keeping the proportions simple. The base needs to be wide enough to stay stable, and the upright just tall enough to hold the headphones, without touching the desk. I like this part because you can still adjust the design a bit if it doesn't look quite right. With everything marked out, I made the cuts, and kept the grain running in the same direction, so it looks cleaner when it's all together. To glue up, I wiped on a thin, even coat of glue and pressed the pieces together. I checked that the fit was tight, let gravity do its thing and let it sit again. Working outside you get a bit of wind and dust, but honestly it's not a big deal. I kinda like it. It feels relaxed, less like a workshop and more like just building something because you want to. When it was dry, I gave it a light sand to clean everything up. You can really see the form now. It's simple but it works. Before finishing, I wanted to break the edges, so I threw a small chamfer bit in the trim router and I ran it around the base. It's such a small touch, but it instantly makes it feel more finished. I didn't go too deep, just enough to catch the light. After that, I went to the sanding grit. Started with 80, then 180, and then finished with 240. This part's slow, but it's worth it. Sanding it properly makes a huge difference when you add the finish later. I like to leave the sound of the sand in the video a bit too. It's really satisfying to listen to. For the finish, I used an oil I had lying around. As soon as the oil hits the wood, the grain just pops. All those lines were hidden under the grime suddenly come alive. It's the best part of any project. This piece turned out a deep warm brown, and honestly it came out way nicer than I expected for something that started as garden scrap. Once it was dry, I set it up on the table to take a look, and it just worked. Clean lines, simple shape, nice weight to it. It's supposed to be for my bedroom, but as I'm still working on the main pieces, into the office it goes. I'm just glad I can remove one thing from the mess on my desk.